This is a lovely little campsite here at Kagga Kamma. Completely wild, no ablutions, no facilities. There's just a little ring there for you to make a fire, surrounded by the beautiful rocks. I have a feeling, if I remember correctly, the wind comes from there, so I've parked the vehicle facing that direction. I do want to try and put out the awning for a bit, because it's 1 o'clock right now, and we actually got quite sunburned yesterday, even though you don't really feel the sun out here because of the wind. So we do want to get a bit of protection. We'll hammer the awning down so that it's nice and secure, but otherwise this is our spot. Let's get comfy. Andy needs to find somewhere safe to put his tent. I think there's a nice area in over there for him, and yeah, let's hang out for the last little bit of the day while we're here and enjoy it a bit. Just pop this on your seat.
This whole series is made possible by the power of REDARC and in part by Bushtech Canopies, Terrain Tamer and Easy On.
So what I'm going to be doing now is we're going to take some of this freshly baked bread, baked this morning there at the reception and the restaurant, and we're going to cut it up and we're going to do some French toast. Should be quite nice. Nice to have a, I mean, well, it's basically 1:30, but we're making our own rules here about when and what we're eating, so should be interesting. So today is a perfect kind of candidate day for having something like a portable solar panel. Now, when we run the vehicle normally, the Manager 30 charges this vehicle up at like, it's over 30 amps most of the time. So it charges up really quickly. But I want to keep the charge up. We're charging camera batteries, we're running the fridge, it's hot at the moment, the fridge is working overtime, we're running water pumps, all sorts of things like that. So like now, for example, when we're charging our batteries, I'm charging up my other little power pack there, and you know, we've got a whole lot of stuff going on. The solar panel A was charging earlier at 10 amps when the battery was, you know, still low. Now we're setting it pretty much full and it's holding the battery at around 99%. We're charging in at 7.8 amps at the moment, so it's just taking in what it needs. The MPPT in the Manager 30 is just controlling it, so it's just keeping up with the demands and keeping the battery topped up. So it means that, you know, we can keep going like this indefinitely as long as there's sunlight. So it's actually amazing what a 160 watt panel can do and actually manage your setup very, very efficiently.
Often when we travel, especially in bad weather, we leave things for later or more convenient times. So it was a blessing in disguise to have a day where we could catch up on a couple of tasks around the campsite and reorganize ourselves for the next part of our adventure. Andy and I are pretty go when we travel, so it's refreshing to have some time to explore the area around the camp and maybe even squeeze in a cheeky little afternoon nap.
Get out of here. I wanted to test the Weber out as an oven, and it's actually worked bloody well. There we go, Andy. I mean, this is good to have as like a backup meal or something in your fridge. or if the weather's a bit crap or something. We actually had perfect browning condition today. No wind. It would have been glorious, but this is lovely.
We spent the rest of the lovely calm evening relaxing and enjoying the crystal clear skies. Our last night in the Cederberg was our best one yet. Leaving the unique Cederberg landscape behind us, our morning drive would take us down the escarpment into the Tankwa Basin, where we will break off the R355 and enter the floodplains of the Tankwa Karoo National Park for the next few nights.
We start our day off on the Perdekloof Pass. We've just left Kagga Kamma. It was a beautiful, beautiful stay there. And we're now making our way to the Tankwa Karoo National Park. And there's some spectacular scenery on the drive. We're going to be teeing into the R355 in about 10 kilometers time. And that is a road known for being a bit of a tire killer.
Adventure seekers in the Western Cape are pretty much all very familiar with this part of the country. But as a self-proclaimed Vali, I've only been out here a handful of times in my life, and it always blows me away with its uniqueness.
Little Tankwa Put style here. I think we're going to have to resupply our magnums. We kind of finished them, so hopefully they've got ice creams, yeah? Let's see what else they got. Last time I was here, they were actually closed, so hopefully we can actually get some stuff. We need a loaf of bread and a few basic things because we're going to be off-grid for the next couple days, so might be good to get something. No magnums, but we do have plenty of ice creams. So I don't know if they've graded this road in preparation for Africa Burn in a couple weeks time, but it is super smooth. It's probably just the suspension, but it drives better than most of our roads back home in Joburg, so it's not too bad for now. The next section we're going to turn on to is actually marked on Tracks for Africa as literally the road is called Tire Failures. And there's even a recommendation to deflate tires to 1.6 to 1.8 bar. So that's a really nice little addition there from Tracks for Africa. From this point on, we turn in about 10 k's or something, maybe a little bit less. We actually enter the Tankwa Karoo National Park. I think from that point the road degrades pretty severely, so we'll have a look and see how that's going to go. But for now, the R355 is actually not so bad. And then we were chatting to the owners of the Tankwa Patstal, and they said they've got open Wi-Fi within 500 meters of the store. If anything happens out here, if you're ever out here for whatever reason and you have, a breakdown or something, you can always go there and get some help, because there's no signal out here. So you can get there, get a bit of Wi-Fi and phone for help or do something like that. If you don't have something like, for example, I've got my Garmin InReach stuff. If you don't have that, you've got to listen out and look for things like that when an emergency comes. But just so you know, I've let you know now. But anyways, we're going to be turning off soon and making our way into the Tankwa Karoo National Park.
The Tankwa Basin was formed 278 million years ago by movement of the Cederberg and the Hex River Mountains, which created a 500 to 700 meter deep basin. The national park hosts a biologically rich biome known as the succulent Karoo, and despite its subdued color, it actually hosts life for over 780 plant species and is one of the world's biodiversity hotspots.
They always pick such beautiful places for national parks. This little drive in here has been absolutely spectacular. These vast open landscapes right next to us, very reminiscent of our time in Namibia. These big, massive scenic views. It's really, really beautiful. I'm anticipating that our next couple days of travel is going to be heading into these mountains, you know, exploring them a bit deeper. We've got a lot of wild camps ahead of us as well. It's going to be a bit of a challenge because we're feeling the wind, and the wind is just absolutely ruthless out here. But we've had a bit of experience now with that at Kagga Kamma, so hopefully that little weekend there really got us prepared for what's to come.
I always find the more beautiful the location, the wilder the weather can be. We drove in during some heavy winds, and tornadoes and sandstorms formed around us. With incredibly dramatic clouds and heavy wind, I'd be lying if I said I wasn't worried for the next couple of days out here. The temperatures can swing between 40 degrees and 0, so this was going to be interesting.
I'm usually skeptical of when people, you know, say that there's, oh no, you need a 4x4 to get to the campsite or whatever. You know, more often than not, it's, you know, just a high ground clearance vehicle. And for the first part of this trail, yeah, it was a high ground clearance vehicle. But yeah, you do actually need a 4x4 to get here. We have been in low range for the last little bit. We've touched the bash plate. We've been flexing the suspension a bit. And you definitely need tires to handle the rocks and stuff here. So it's been a nice little bit of fun, yeah, just to wake us up at the end of a long day on the road. That's nice. We're going to be rolling into camp soon and setting up. I just remembered right now that I haven't taken any meat out to defrost, so we'll be making a plan for that soon. But anyways, the scenery is absolutely beautiful. I've got no problem 4x4ing out here for an extra hour at the end of the day. It's really, really lovely. I'll maybe reverse in there somewhere.
The Steenkampshoek campsite, one of several wild camps in the park, was nothing like in the photos during my research. In fact, it over-delivered tenfold, and although we had to deal with windy conditions and heavy cloud cover, it made for some incredible scenery.
It's windy, but it is beautiful. The sun is just busy hiding behind the clouds. We've got some sort of something coming in here. It looks like there should be rain in about 2 days' time, maybe tomorrow, but the light coming through the clouds is spectacular. This valley itself is spectacular. The scenery is probably one of the most beautiful camps that I've seen in terms of the view straight from the campsite. It's beautiful, really, really stunning. We got the wind with us, so hopefully we don't have too rough a night, and hopefully it doesn't start raining, but whatever happens, we're ready. We got a nice little dinner going on there. We're gonna sort out some creamy broccoli and cauliflower with some bacon, and we've got a little salad to have, and should be good for the evening. Wow, the scenery is breathtaking.
This is where the magic of having an overlanding vehicle is for me. Being completely self-sufficient means you can get to enjoy places like this, away from the crowds of people and with nothing but the magic of life all around you.
We're gonna be heading to the Gannaga Pass. That's what we're here to do. It looks like it's a short little trail, but it looks quite twisty and turny. So I'm excited to see what it's all about. I've seen some photos of it online and things like that, but it would be nice to see it all for myself. So let's give it a go. We're just gonna take it slow and steady and see how we go.
The Gannaga Pass is an unassuming gem. It doesn't have the wildest altitude or the most bends, but to quote Mountain Passes South Africa, it possesses an almost ethereal quality, with a combination of graceful curves, raw mountain beauty, and a scope of vision that is rarely repeated in other passes. And I think this is probably the best way to actually describe it.
It's actually cool to think we came all the way up here. We've climbed about almost 300 meters. That is quite steep. It's very beautiful. So as Gautengers, we learn that when it's cold and it's rainy and it's windy, you stay inside, you stay warm, and you feel sorry for yourself. We haven't developed the skills of the people from the Western Cape and from the Eastern Cape who have to deal with these type of conditions all the time. So yes, I'm going to sit in my car with the heater on and drink a cup of coffee and eat some biscuits. So we're making our way now back to our campsite. We're staying at a place called Perdekloof. They've got some ablutions and some stuff there. We've got some dishes we want to do, some things we want to sort out. Just hang out and chill around the camp a little bit. But yeah, anyways, we should be there pretty soon. It's not a very long drive. So we've arrived at our campsite, Perdekloof. We're at campsite number 4 here. It's very nice. It's very nice. It's not what we had yesterday. It's we can hear other people talking, but the plus side is there's kitchen and ablutions, and Andy's probably not even going to set up his tent tonight. He's just going to sleep in the shower. It's so big. So at least we're going to get a bit of a break from the elements. We're going to just recharge a little bit. We're going to get the fire going. We're going to play with making some bread and stuff like that, get the camp set up, and you know, just settle in. We've got plenty time left. It's like 1 o'clock, so we've got some good time to kind of get ourselves settled in. And we bought some flour at the Tankwa pot style. They had no bread, so I thought, you know what, it'd be a good excuse to experiment and play around a little bit. You know, I had my fair share of practice over lockdown and stuff like that to experiment with some new doughs and some pizza doughs and stuff like that. This is not exactly how I like to do my bread baking and stuff like that. I prefer sourdoughs and, you know, long fermentation processes. But you know what? We got what we got. We're gonna make a little plan and see what we can do. Hey, that's a good sign. Oh, come on, Andy. Oh, I'm gonna let these rest. I think we've actually done an amazing little job here. We've got a couple for today, and we've got plenty for tomorrow. So that's actually turned out really nicely. I think with a little bit of practice, we'll really get these down nicely. But for now, I'm very happy. I think that's the last little show of the sun for the day. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. We've been in this moody, brooding weather type day the whole day since this morning. And for that beautiful sunlight just to pop through right at the end of the day gives us some hope that tomorrow is going to be a stunner. We've got a good amount of four-wheel driving to do tomorrow, so we're ready. We're ready. We're fed, we're watered, we're everything. We're ready for a good night's rest. And tackle tomorrow with some fresh minds, with some fresh bodies, and yeah, should be a lot of fun. Anyways, here's to another beautiful day in the Tankwa Karoo National Park. It's been a stunner. Thank you so much for joining us on this week's episode of Rome Overlanding. I really hope you enjoyed it and would love to hear what you think down in the comments below. Please remember to like, comment and subscribe. It really helps the channel, and I will see you on the next adventure. Cheers.